and welcome to For the Culture. It's your girl, MzMuah.
I'm AWB.
And I'm the Diva.
And you can catch us every Monday at 7 p.m. right here live. Before you, make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, of course, New Beat Radio. And tonight's show is sponsored by Gems. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I feel like we took a mini sabbatical.
We took a little bit of it. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
But we are back tonight, and I'm so excited about tonight's topic because, man, did I learn some things.
It was
right?
a lot. Yeah.
One thing that you guys may not know about For the Culture is we study for these shows, and we make sure that we are prepared to give you accurate information.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is we want to be in the know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to know what's going on. We want to provide beneficial information, and we want to learn at the same time. So I was so... Have you ever seen something and you're like, really?
Right.
Yes.
There was a lot of really moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like, oh my God. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight's topic, we are talking about Black Wall Street. So if you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically, it was an area that started off as being segregated, right?
Mm-hmm.
People wanted us to be separate. So
Right.
that's what we did.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And so in us being separate
Mm-hmm.
and segregated, because that's what they wanted, we became very, very, very successful.
Yes.
That's it.
That's right. They left us alone,
Yeah,
and we did our thing.
we did our thing. And so that was one thing that I thought was just amazing about this particular moment in time as well as history. How is it that you kicked us out?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want us around. We got to go. We got to do our own thing. But then you're mad about what we become.
Because we did well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the same thing that goes on today. You know, if you get stopped by a cop and you're in a really nice car, first thing they say, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You how dare you do better than me?
I like these frames you got.
Oh, well,
on.
thank you so much.
This is a new frame, isn't it?
This is new frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I kept looking at you. I'm like, come on, frame. Okay. You know, we tend to do our frame
That's
thing.
right.
You
That's
know.
right.
You
That's
know.
right.
So, what'd you guys learn about it, and what'd you learn about it, AWB? Give us your twos and fews.
I learned so much, but let me skip down. Let me skip down to the end.
Okay.
Well, the end and the beginning. Do you know why this thing started?
See, now that's the part. They said, I thought, it was this story that was made up about this guy
Okay.
that had, okay, you tell us.
His name, the guy, 19 years old, so he's still a kid. He's 19.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
His name was Dick Burrows.
Okay.
I think I said that right. He was going into the jury.
Okay.
That was like a hotel, some type of. Anyway, blacks and whites could go in there.
Okay.
Dick Rowlands was his name.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yes.
said that wrong. But anyway, what he did was there was a little girl. She was 17, white girl.
Mm.
He stepped on her foot by accident. Oh, y'all waiting for me to say something else. He stepped on her foot by accident, so she screamed out, and then she began to beat him with her purse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, he said he did grab her arm because he's trying to stop her.
Right.
But that's why this thing started. She started telling people about it, and then the Tulsa Tribune picked up the story. And then they said that she was sexually assaulted, she was beat up. None of that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tribune had already printed it.
Mm.
So now people are getting revved up. They deputized all these people.
Right.
Gave them guns, all this ammunition,
Yeah.
and they were getting started.
So tell them what deputized mean, because I learned that in this process.
Well, they took random Joe Blows.
Right.
You could be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You have two teeth.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Somebody gun-toting.
Somebody gun-toting. Just as long as you was white, you was all right.
Mm.
And so they made them honorary deputies and gave them guns, and they said, go get him.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the Tribune realized that they had made a mistake. So they recanted the story. these folks is on their way already. And this woman, then she turns around and she says, well, no, I didn't say I was sexually assaulted. I didn't say I was beat up. No, I didn't say that. Tribune made that up. So she's trying to tell them the real story. It's too late.
Yes.
So in this area of Black Wall Street, there were schools, churches, social clubs,
Banks.
hotels, banks,
Yep.
all of that, all within our own community.
Yep.
And so based off the story that the fellas heard, they came and destroyed it all.
Yeah. Yeah. They burned down their homes. They killed people. And here's the thing about that. Even after this woman decided to tell the truth, they didn't even want to hear the truth. Because at this moment, now they mad, they get ready to destroy these people's everything.
Yeah.
Just because they could.
Some people just need a
Reason.
There it is.
A
There it is.
reason.
Just give me a reason.
That's
Yeah.
what it seemed
That's
like.
that's exactly
Because
what
how
it was.
drastic was this situation? That's how, and so even in trying to explain it, it's like, well, what I had heard, ain't no way
And there was
Right.
no way.
that was the so that really was.
That was
the reason.
That was really
That
the
was
reason.
the reasoning that was given for destroying 35 square blocks of life.
Yeah. Yeah, they they destroyed those people. And then after conclusion of the matter, they just buried folks in random holes.
Yeah.
There are people who are still trying to get their loved ones' remains back over 100 years later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what was crazy? One thing that I learned about this story too, in Tulsa as well as in the United States and other places, until recently with a law being passed, this was like a secret.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want anyone to know
They tried to cover it up. Absolutely.
that this happened.
Yeah.
So you know you wrong.
Yeah.
When you don't even want to talk about it. Like you can't tell nobody about it. We just gonna move on like it didn't occur.
Well, you know, they do that a lot with us, though. You know, they want to say that slavery didn't exist. You know,
It never happened.
it never happened.
And trying to get it
you
removed
know.
from the school books and
Yeah.
being taught in schools.
Isn't that amazing? Because you feel bad.
But
They
when
weren't
you
paying
feel
reparations either.
when you feel bad about something,
Shouldn't you apologize?
shouldn't
and try to
you
make it better?
apologize? Try to make it better.
Yeah.
Do something else. I know there was a gentleman that I was watching that believes that there should be some type of payment or some type of something to help people in that area as well as outside of that area, because this then became a trend.
Yeah.
And so people started doing it in other places. Yes, it was the weekend of May 31st to June 1st,
Yes.
1921 in Tulsa. But then it went over here to this state. And it went over there to that for little random reasons. Now we just killing a bunch of
Well,
black people.
because they were not being held accountable.
Right.
You know, they didn't like us. No way. Who do we think we are?
Yeah.
You know, we were slaves. Our ancestors were slaves. And then we're going to come out of it and we're going to be better than you?
In my research, I found over 600 businesses were destroyed. Oh my God.
Everything.
And that's
They-
not including the residents.
Yeah. They leveled everything. The churches, the banks, the grocery stores, everything.
Doctors, lawyers. Listen, first of all, pause. We had it going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody that was anything was
They were going, they were
They were
headed to
going
Tulsa.
there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Because it was known as the most predominant place for black people. If you want to make it, you're headed to Tulsa.
Wow. What'd you find out, sis?
I think what was disturbing to me to find out was that they only reported 36 deaths in all of this.
Isn't that hilarious?
And there was hundreds of people killed,
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
which later went to thousands because they started jumping around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, they said they don't have an actual count.
And so what they said in the original findings was that there were 36 deaths, there were 26 of those black and 10 white.
Isn't that something?
That is
That
not
was in
true.
the original report.
Isn't that something?
That's not
So
true.
that just tells you how, again, it goes with the cover up to try to make it seem like it was not a big of a deal
As it was.
It actually was a massacre.
It was a massacre.
Yes.
It was a massacre.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Another thing that I found out while doing my research, you know how you pay insurance for your business
Yes.
in your home
Yes.
or your apartment or your car or whatever?
Yeah.
They wouldn't give them their money for it.
At all.
Right. Yeah.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
You gonna come in my business and kill me and take it down to the ground
Yes.
for no reason. And then the people that are left behind
Cannot. reap
Cannot.
benefits.
do nothing on nothing.
Yeah.
They get no.
They're still
benefit.
fighting that
Exactly.
today.
I cannot.
They're still
Yeah.
fighting it today. And then, you know, just a little sidebar. That's why I get tickled. Maybe that's not the word. But I get tickled when the others say that we're violent. That, you know, after, you know, one of us is killed and we take to the streets
Yeah,
and we go to burning down stuff,
yeah.
then they want to say, oh, what's wrong with them? We taking after you. That's what's wrong.
So
We doing what you do.
as of 2019, that's when a law was passed to say that this has to be taught in schools now. This secret. But what's so crazy is, let's talk about a few things. Let's go random. Can we just go
Let's do
random?
it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
We know all about the Holocaust. Remember about the girl that was writing in the attic or something? I know. What's her
Anne
name?
Frank.
Anne Frank. Come on, Annie. We know all about that, don't we?
Listen.
We know about Christopher Columbus
And
and
you-
him coming over here and taking his land from the Indians, right?
Listen, you better not say nothing against the Holocaust because that's what Whoopi did
Yes.
a few weeks back.
Yes.
She made a blanket statement.
Yeah.
They took her off the air.
Yeah. And people had to fight for her to get back on. Yes.
She
Absolutely.
made an opinionated comment
Yeah.
that came out of her head.
Right.
That was her opinion.
Right.
And they said, we getting ready to sit you down.
But this is the thing. So they done taught us about all. Why they want to hide this? Why we gotta hide this?
They know that they have treated us horrendously.
When you say they a lot. Who you talking about?
Who you think?
I'm just saying specifically so no one is confused.
Oh, well, I don't want to confuse anyone.
Yeah.
I'm talking about white people.
Okay, you're talking about as a whole.
As a whole,
Okay.
as a collective.
Okay.
And maybe, I hear all the time, because, you know, I got a few friends that are white.
Yeah.
Well, my people didn't own slaves. Well, you know what? Maybe my people wasn't slaves. I don't know. But all I know, it was y'all against us. That's all I know. And it was not enough of y'all to stand up and say, this is wrong.
I think what AWB is trying to say is the racist people of the time are responsible for these actions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the PC version.
Yeah, that's what she's trying
well,
to say.
and I'm also trying to say
Yeah.
that the people of this time ought to let this be taught.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, if you don't correct the history,
Yeah.
if you doomed to repeat it.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, this is For the Culture. You can catch us every Monday at 7 p.m. as we talk about our culture and things that have helped shape and just form us. And we're going to give you gems, of course, week to week. Make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, New Beat Radio. And make sure you come and shop at Jim. So we are talking about Black Wall Street.
Yes.
Crazy that we were this successful all together. Not just one family, not just everybody.
It's a collective.
It was estimated over 10,000 people, 10,000 residents in Black Wall Street, and all of these people, they either, if they were not affected directly with their resident being burned down, they still had to go.
Yeah.
Because they was chasing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had to hide. They had to get
Yeah.
out of town to save their
One of
lives.
the survivors of this is still alive that I watched, and she said they had to go. They had to get out of the
Yeah.
area. They couldn't stay. They lost everything.
Everything. They couldn't take, you can't take nothing with you. You
No.
run it.
Exactly.
So
Wow.
you just pack up and go.
Wow.
What I also found interesting was the area itself. Again, about 35 square blocks worth of residents, churches,
Yeah.
hospitals, hotels, businesses.
Yeah.
Was worth at that time about $1.5 billion.
At that time.
At that time. So you can imagine
Can you imagine?
What it would be.
what it
Wow.
And see, listen, we are a smart people. We are an intelligent people.
Yeah.
We've got so much on the ball. And I love when we start doing some things. You know, I was
Yeah.
having some good conversations over the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, just awesome because we've got some ideas.
Yeah.
What we gotta stop doing is hiding our light under a bushel.
Yeah.
That's what because
That was a mouthful.
because
Yeah.
if we come on out and do what we know we can do,
Yeah.
we are amazing. But can you imagine if we begin to believe in ourselves for real,
Yeah.
believe in ourselves and each other?
Mm.
One thing that I loved about studying this, they kept talking about the community.
Yeah.
The community and how everyone helped one another.
Yeah. Well, question. So they say that this stuff was, destroyed because of jealousy, because of envy, right?
Mhm.
Because they were so upset that we were this successful and blah, blah. But you segregated us.
Yeah.
You just didn't know we was going to live up top. You didn't know that we had it you didn't know we was coming.
You thought because you left or you kicked us out that we
That
was
we
going to
was-
fall.
It's just like, okay, the visuals they show of Africa.
Girl, you better quit and stop.
Let's start with that. They're not showing the high rises that were built by black engineers.
Mhm.
They're not showing the multimillionaires that are there in Africa.
Yeah.
They're showing the impoverished.
Yeah.
They're showing the people that are still tribal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that may not have more than a beginning reading level.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Here's what I heard, and not too long ago. One of my daughter-in-laws is she's Indian, but she's from Africa.
Mhm.
Okay, and so I've seen actual pictures, real pictures of Africa, and I'm like, oh, they don't show us that. All they show us is that the the baby with the swollen head and the swollen belly and the little stick legs. That's what we get to see.
Yeah.
You know what she told us? She said, in other countries, they show America like that.
Uh-huh.
I cannot.
So those
I can't.
those commercials that we see of the
They see.
Africans, they have Americans in other
Mm-hmm.
give to America.
Imagine that. Right?
I said, oh,
That's too much. You made me laugh really hard.
I'm so sorry.
You know, but
I-
that's
oh my
But you
God.
know what? This story made me so proud of us.
yes.
I know they came in. I know they tried to steal our glory. They tried to destroy everything. But the fact that we could do that, I was like, dang. I mean, and I seen pictures. We was cold blooded.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
dressed to the
Yeah.
nine.
Yeah.
Successful. We had our own.
Everything.
I mean, everything.
Everything. Yeah.
You know, and it just goes back to even today. And I think of our people,
Mhm.
you know, and why don't we have that sense of pride about ourselves anymore? Have we let people steal that from us, including our own people?
You know what I think it is? I think it's TikTok.
What?
Listen, because, and here's why I say that. Because you can get on TikTok at 6 o'clock, okay? You're watching a bunch of 5-second videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it is 12:30.
No, see, that's why I don't do it.
It is crazy. You can get, if you allow yourself to get caught up in nothingness.
Yeah.
If you don't pay attention to what you're doing,
Right.
and then you're watching this, it's insanity.
Yeah.
Right.
They're making us think that we cannot think longer than 3.5 seconds.
Yes.
Our attention span has
Yeah.
become 3.5
Right.
seconds.
Pretty much.
You know, it's sad. It's truthful that the younger generations are losing their attention spans.
Yeah.
Because they aren't being trained to have longer attention spans.
They can't
They
sit
aren't
still.
being made knowledgeable
Right.
of, let me sit down and, okay, yeah, this book may be 500 pages, but if I sit down and read it, I can
Yeah.
actually read it in
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
And look what I can learn.
And look,
You know,
exactly.
yeah.
Look at,
Because even though the book was made into the
Yeah.
movie, you're gonna miss a little bit.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss
Exactly.
a little bit.
You know, one of my attorney friends, and I love him dearly, but he made a very poignant statement that actually makes a lot of sense at the same time. If you want to hide something
That's
from
what he
people,
said.
Put it in a book.
put it in writing.
From black
because
book
people don't read
people.
anymore.
No.
And that's
No.
so unfortunate. I mean, even going back to our laws,
Yeah.
They'll distract us over here, like you said, on different platforms and social media. But over here, they're passing this law
Yeah.
that affects our economy.
And listen,
It
you
affects
better
us.
read that whole thing, because in order for them to get some of those laws passed, they put a little something extra down there. They slide
But you
it
know
in.
what I've noticed about people too is even when you have a certain level of knowledge and you're trying to give it to somebody, they look at you like you're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you send them something to be like, "Ooh, read this," or "Ooh, check
No,
that," like,
no, people
why are
don't.
you sending me that?
Like read. What? Who
Why
does
am I
that?
reading it? Why I gotta read something? Like it's
Listen,
weird.
Listen.
Right.
We gotta do something.
We have to do
So
better.
I need to ask
We
y'all
have
a
to do
question.
better.
Yeah, absolutely.
We found out about this area that was Black royalty,
Mhm.
Black excellence, right?
Black excellence.
And we were flourishing, we were wealthy, we were together, we were beautiful, we were successful.
All of the above, yeah.
Do you think we could ever do it again?
I knew that question was gonna come.
You
I
do
knew
it! You
I
do it!
I really think we can. I really think we can. Now it's gonna take just a group getting started, okay? Because you got a lot of looky-loos. They're gonna see what's happening 1st.
Yeah.
You know? But then when they see you, they be like, oh, okay. Because it's a lot going on right now where we can really do some things.
Yeah.
If COVID didn't teach us one thing, well, first of all, it took the workers out of the working place.
Yeah.
Okay? And it sent everybody home. So what did? We all got on the internet.
Yeah.
And we started looking at stuff.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wait a minute. They tell us, here's what they tell us. Go to school, get an education, and get a job. That's what they tell us. But then they tell other people, invest.
Yeah.
Invest.
That part.
You know? So everybody had to go home. We weren't in the brick and mortar. We had to go in the house. Well, some of y'all did. Anywho. But then when we went home, we started reading stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much out. Yes, to answer your question, can we do it again? We absolutely can.
What you think?
It's going to take a collective.
Yeah.
There are actually persons and organizations that have tried to restart Black Wall Streets in various areas of our country. But if we don't get out of the mentality of, okay, yeah, I want you to do well, but not better than me,
Yeah.
and work together and become unified,
Yeah.
it will never work. And it's unfortunate. I really hope that it would.
What's crazy about this story, as well as others, when we have spoken on powerful Black people of the past, especially during the time of segregation, is when we were separated, we tended to
Do okay.
empower ourselves.
We had
We,
to.
we tended to like educate ourselves and make ourselves successful and do whatever it took to kind of rise as a unit. What I see a lot today is this is my thing, this is my thing, this is my thing. I don't really see a lot of the collective. And then you have something like Lipstick Entertainment. We put it out there, hey, you got an event, you need some volunteers, you need some floor managers, let us know. And it's like nothing. It's almost like people just want their little box.
Yeah.
And if you're outside of the box, you don't belong.
Well, I think we're very cliquish. We're a very cliquish type race. Okay, you gotta be. We talked about this before. You get a certain look, a certain this, a certain that, in order to hang out with me. You know, which, in the huge scheme of things, we're all Black, and we all can get stopped by that cop, and we all can go down. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem is we gotta realize that, and realize that we are not enemies.
Right.
We are not enemies.
Right.
And we are stronger together.
But how do we retrain our minds to know that we're not enemies? Because if you guys sit back and just watch your social media, don't post one thing, look at all of the negativity that is shot into our community about marriage, about parenting, and getting along with the other parent, about education, about
Black men,
about working
they don't
hard.
like Black women.
Yeah.
And that is not a true statement.
Right.
Exactly.
And we keep
And vice
running
versa.
that narrative. We keep running.
Not even just that, but also the narrative of being alone. I've said this
Exactly.
before. We have this idea that the realer you are, no one is around you. No,
It's
like
not the
that is not true. Like, how do we get this negativity out of our community and culture?
Listen, though, you gotta understand, negativity is easier. You ain't gotta do nothing. You know, you just gotta pass what you heard without the research.
Yeah.
You know, just I just heard, and you can't, and then especially, you know, I tell this is my thing when you know we get together and we start talking a little bit, start gossiping a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm excusing myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the mix.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it because my contingency is this: if you're talking about them with me, then you're doing that
You
when
definitely
I'm not
doing that.
present.
I had
you know?
to adjust the crown recently. I didn't know this lady from a hill of beans, but she knew someone I knew, and that person got up and she got to run in her mouth, and I said, "Oh no, ma'am, I can't, I won't, and I ain't. You can't, we can't. We gotta do something different and change our mind about how we treat each other. I think if we can start there, then we can move it to business, right?
I think we've been treated so badly by everybody. We're just accustomed to being treated badly. You know?
Well, I would definitely say that classism does exist in our community.
Oh
Okay.
my God, yes.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because again, I may be judged because I'm fairly light skinned. I'm not real light, but I am light skinned per se.
Yeah.
Versus one of my darker sisters and being involved with corporate America, say for instance, or even, I'll use this as an example, in my modeling, you know, I may be more apt to get a role or a show versus some of my darker sisters. And it's so unfortunate, you know, or because I am considered plus size, anything, and what a lot of people don't know is anything above a size 10 is considered plus size, you know, and us as a culture, baby,
we live above size 10.
we live above a size 10.
We live on that avenue.
And you can be as healthy as an ox, but you know, you would be considered unhealthy. Or, you know, the stigmatism is that, you know, it's not backing away from the table. So many things can play into it. But as far as Black Wall Street is concerned, it's going to take our banks, our retailers, our physicians, our educators coming together and saying we're going to do this. Then it becomes a matter of, is history going to repeat itself? Are we going to get this up and going and they're going to come in and take it away? Do we have to live in that fear?
But are we strong enough as a community in the culture that we're in to come together in that way? Are we strong enough to do that?
We got to get
out of our own way.
I was gonna say that we are in our own way, absolutely, and the embedded hatred that was spewed at us, we've internalized it. You know, we think we're not good enough in some cases. You know, and if you think that you're not good enough, you're not going to convince anybody else you are.
One thing that I've noticed in other cultures, I speak about marriage a lot because I believe in it. They are almost born with the idea of this is what you're going to do.
You're going to get married and you're going to live in it.
And you're going to do this by a certain age.
Right.
Because you got other things to do. So you got to do this. And it doesn't matter if they're Indian, Asian, African, Jewish. We can go around. I mean, everybody.
Around the world,
But it seems like our culture is not taught.
But where is
that
our
principle.
where is our identity? That's the problem. If you don't know who you are, how do you know who to be?
How do we get Black Wall Street out there to the masses? How do we tell everybody? Because I don't think people know.
Right. There are groups on social media that are labeling themselves as Black Wall Street. There are groups even here, and I'm not going to give this group any publicity, but there are groups that are geared towards representing the Black dollar and what have you. But then you have those people that are controlling those groups that are basically monitoring, censoring, and limiting Black business getting out there.
Yeah.
You know, and then I look at the other side of things as well. You know, I think about a year or maybe two ago now that I published on my own personal page a list of Black businesses. You know, and I actually tried to participate with a Black bank, and the customer service was horrible. And people were like, "Well, you're just saying that because it was a Black bank." No, I'm not. I'm saying that as a consumer, we have got to get better with servicing our businesses.
I just said that on yesterday. We want to have businesses. We want to be Black-owned businesses. But listen, you cannot wake up one morning and say, I'm a business. You have got to put in some work.
Yeah.
Okay? First of all, if you are a business, you have got to be people-oriented.
Yeah, that part.
You've got to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
And then when there is a situation, because if you are in business, you're going to have situations.
Not even just be able to talk to people. Can you be reliable and responsible?
Yes.
Because it's
Yes.
not always going to be easy in
It's
business.
not.
You
It's
can't
not.
get up and run because it got hard or something you didn't like. I mean, where is our professionalism and our staying
That's
power?
what I'm saying. You got to learn this thing, okay? And if you have a situation where the business, the interaction did not go well, you can't start twisting your neck and rolling your eyes and using profanity. You are a business. If somebody says they got a service that they did not like, talk to that person. Try to figure out, okay, you don't have to necessarily give them their money back, but try to fix it.
Right,
Because word of mouth will destroy you.
Right.
You know, so you got to be able to fix the situation, just like everybody else in business does.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then if you make a mistake and somebody calls you, I'm giving you some lessons now. If somebody calls you and says that this is not right, don't go MIA.
Right.
Don't stop answering your phone.
Yeah.
Because
But
listen,
people don't like correction.
No.
They don't like they don't like hearing someone say, you know what, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Or this isn't what I asked for.
Right.
Or you're not doing what you said you would do.
Right.
People don't like that. But in reality, that's real life. And that's not somebody being mean to you. That's not somebody putting you down as a person. But if you are a business professional, you should be able to handle that, whether you're working inside of the business or whether you're a customer or you're supplying a service to a customer. You should be able to say, okay, what do we do to move forward to make this better?
How do we make it better?
But we just get up and cut out.
Yeah, stop answering the
It's like, oh, well, I don't need that. I don't
Right.
want to deal with that. I can move on.
And
Oh, you don't like it? Okay, bye. I'm not doing it
That's
anymore.
right.
What?
That's right. And that's what I say. You cannot just wake up and say, I'm a business. I can wake up and say, I'm a Cadillac. I can sit in the garage if I want to and claim Cadillac, but somebody gonna say, call somebody for her because she needs some help. You know, you gotta listen. Study to show yourself approved.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think to build a Black Wall Street again would be like just the gems that we have given. We got to work it with the individual businesses that we have and make those smooth, right? How are we treating each other inside? How are we treating other people? When people are dissatisfied on either side, what's happening? One thing about me, I know that I've grown a lot in business. Because if someone gets mad at me, okay, have a good day. I wish you peace and blessings. You want to know why? Because I have a brand and I have a business that I've had for 12 years. And I'm not going to tarnish it because some Joe Schmo is mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what I'm doing is going much further than their attitude.
Yeah.
And if we don't think, oh, did you see what such and such said? Did you see that post? No, and I don't care.
Listen, and you know what? If you do something wrong, apologize.
Ooh. Ooh.
Apologize. Now
That's a big word.
That's a thing that we don't like to do.
No, we don't.
We're gonna do is
Gaslight.
we're gonna gaslight. Oh my God! And then we're gonna get with our circle, and then we're gonna go to talking. Listen, that's not how you operate.
Or we just not gonna talk to you
No.
because you had the nerve to tell me you didn't like something. Oh my
audacity.
gosh. The audacity.
Not only that, okay, so let's go here. There can be more than one of us that owns the same
Oh
kind
Lord, have
of
mercy! I need some
business.
bells and some dings. And
I'm
some,
just saying, it's okay.
Oh.
We are not in competition with each other. There is room for each of us
This
our
is
businesses.
a big land. You know, McDonald's didn't go out of business when Burger King came
How about
along.
that?
You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Different tastes for different people.
And we
you
don't have
know?
to put the other person's business down. It's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
I
okay.
wish we would learn that part.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that would help
I
us
wish we would learn that
become
part.
more successful in
Yeah.
our businesses and maybe build towards a Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
But another thing too, if you want to be successful in business, who have you supported in business?
Wow.
I'm not talking about Macy's. I'm not talking about Kroger. I'm not talking about regular places, Shell, gas station. I'm talking about who in business have you supported so that you can get that energy back.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I've seen, especially recently, is people will complain, well, I don't get the support. Who have you ever supported? Who?
And stop asking for discounts with black businesses only.
Oh Lord, we
You're
need,
not
we need a
going
real bill because I'm
And
getting ready to hit
asking
something.
other businesses
You're
for
not.
discounts.
Yeah.
You're taking their prices as they are.
Yeah.
Good customer service or bad customer service.
Yeah.
You're taking those
You're
prices.
taking it.
Yeah.
And then if you decide that you don't like the customer service, you're not going back there no more. But you're not making these long posts about their mama and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, we got to, first of all, we need to believe in ourselves.
Yeah.
I think it starts there. We are more than whatever the latest rap song is. I don't even know anymore. We can do more than that.
Yeah.
You know, we are more than that. And when we realize where we come from, who we come from,
Yeah.
who we are and whose we are, we're going to do something different.
Yeah.
You know?
Black Wall Street is possible. We can do it again. I know they have attempted it in Tulsa, in that same area, you know, to bring it back, which kudos to them. But I think it is something that can go nationwide. I think it's something that can happen here. We have so many talented people that do different things, that want different things, and we could just have our own
And we can all bring something to the
amazing
table.
society.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that you learned some things tonight as we talk to you about Black Wall Street and just our history of excellence.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope that it has encouraged you to do something with your life and also to support the people around you. It's okay to support.
It's okay.
I'm buying some of your lipstick just so you know. Now, I said that on the air, so it's going to happen.
Okay.
But
Right.
it's okay to
Yeah.
support the people. You don't have to throw shade on them because they're
Right.
doing something different than what you're doing.
Right.
That's not going to help us
Right.
build.
It's not.
It's not.
And then like you were saying, Diva, stop asking for discounts.
Yeah.
You know, I got a good girlfriend who has a business, and I support her.
Mhm.
And when I do support her, she wants to give me a discount.
There you go.
And I'm like, I'm paying you what this is.
Right.
You know, I'm not asking for a discount. Don't offer me a discount.
Mhm.
You're not going to make any money. You're not going to be successful giving your product away.
Yeah.
You know, Louis Vuitton ain't giving nothing
Listen
away.
at all.
You know, and you getting ready to pay a couple $1,000s for that
Exactly.
little bitty bag.
Yeah.
Okay, and we gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not
it's
doing
great.
that one yet, though. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but
Wait
we
a
do
few
it.
years,
But
I
we do
might.
it.
You know.
We do it.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We want to thank you all so much for tuning in to For the Culture.
Yes.
And make sure you continue to like, share, and follow this platform. We're doing it for you. We're doing it for the culture.
The
We'll see you
culture.
next week.
All right.
Bye.
Share, like.